I thought you just told us that there is no such thing as objective morality. Is it immoral, or you just don't like it?
No, I said there was no such thing as objective morality. I said all morality is relative.
So why are you objecting to somebody who doesn't want to put a kid with a homosexual couple then? Why are you objecting to that if there's no...
We have the right to object. We are always doing that, okay? We're always making these choices. It's not wrong to say that I'm making my independent choices, independent of any other book or any other holy book. We all make the same moral choices. I find it wholly immoral.
Oh, according to what standard? Your own standard?
According to my standards, yes.
Oh, well, that's okay.
That's exactly the same way you do it.
Are you condemning somebody else for having a different relative standard than you?
No, I'm saying we all have to take responsibility for our moral judgments. We are all making those decisions in real time, just like you are.
Okay,
For the same reason that you're not going into Leviticus and saying, and let's kill the gays, that's immoral to you and me. We're making that relative moral decision. You're supporting your relative moral decision with other Bible quotes that you're finding.
Yeah, but you're confusing the decision with the existence of a moral standard. You're saying that there is no moral standard, or there is a standard objective outside of humanity to which we should obey?
There is no objective moral standard. We are responsible for our own actions.
Responsible to who?
To ourselves and to our society.
Which society? Mother Teresa's or Hitler's?
The society in which we live.
Okay, so
Yes, this is not an easy question.
So at Nuremberg, then, we really had no right to convict the Nazis of obeying their government.
We, as a world society, judge our criminals, and we judge them as we see fit.
I know we judge them, so you're saying we just judge them based on our preferences. You know, in some cultures, they take care of their babies. In other cultures, they eat their babies. Which do you prefer?
I prefer the ones where they take care of the babies. I also prefer the ones where the Nazis don't do terrible things under the name of God.
But it's just a preference.
Yes.
Okay, so
it's an opinion.
If it's just an opinion, I don't know why you condemn a Christian couple for not wanting to put a baby with a homosexual, because that's just their morality that they have every right to express themselves, don't they?
They have every right to do it. I'm saying it's a wholly immoral position.
According to who?
According to me.
Well, okay, well, that's just David
Of course,
Silverman.
it's all according to us. We all make our own moral decisions.
Yeah, I understand.
The only difference between you and me is that I take responsibility for my moral decisions, and you justify your moral decisions by finding a passage in the Bible that matches your moral decisions and saying, aha, it's objective morality.
Well, if there is no objective morality, then we have, it's even hard to talk this way because we say we have no right, but that implies a moral standard too.
No, we have a societal right. Society
according
gives us the
to
rights.
you, or according to Hitler,
society,
or
according to the government that we create. Yes.
Okay, well, then we had no real way to condemn the Nazis for what they did.
That's the hard answer is you're correct. The hard answer is it is a matter of opinion. The hard answer is they thought they were doing objective good. They did. So we condemned them as a society, but you know, we do this all the time.
Yeah, they may have thought they were doing good, but they really weren't according to a standard. But the only way you could know whether
according
they were
to whose
really
standard?
The unchanging, objective, moral standard that is God's nature. And
they did it under the name of God.
Well, there's a lot of people that you don't judge a philosophy or a religion by its abuse, David. Jesus never said that we ought to go kill the Jews, quite obviously. He was a Jew himself. You should know that.
Yeah.
Okay? So... because people have abused religion doesn't mean that the religion is false.
The fact that people have abused religion shows you that morality is relative. If it was objective, you couldn't abuse it.
No, you're confusing sociology and morality. Sociology is how people behave. Morality is how they ought to behave. We all ought to behave a certain way, but we fail to. By the way, that's why we need a savior. Okay.
You're clapping for that? Really?
Here's the problem. The problem here, David, is that you're assuming that God could have created another universe where nobody sinned. That, while it's logically possible, it might not be actually achievable with free creatures.
Well, sin was not an option.
No, sin, if God creates a universe with free creatures, he might not be able to create a universe where everybody freely chooses not to sin. So he creates the universe we're in now. People freely choose to sin. And then his job, the whole purpose of the Bible, and we're not really even here to talk about the Bible, but since you brought it up, the whole theme of the Bible from Genesis to maps is one word, and that is redemption. You have paradise lost in Genesis, paradise regained in Revelation.
You are totally avoiding my question.
No, I'm getting there.
Before Adam ate that apple, he was without sin.
Yes.
Before he ate that apple, he was without sin. God put the tree here.
Yes.
He knew it would cause the fall of man.
Yes.
God pushed Adam and Eve out of the Garden of Eden. God made the decision.
Yes.
God made the choice.
And then God made the choice to go in and rescue them.
So
that's what the redemption's all about.
God chose.
David,
I think they'll clap for anything in this audience. God is the villain here. God is the one.
Wait! Stop!
Yes.
There's no villains because there's no good or evil. You've already said so.
Changing the subject. God is the one who made the choice.
I'm not changing the subject.
You said evil entered into the universe because of a choice. I'm submitting to you that it was not Adam who made that choice.
Who was it?
It was God who made that choice.
God made a choice.
So God's a villain. God's the one who sent you to hell. God's the one who sends everybody to hell. God's the one who caused the fall of man, and he did so with intent, with deliberate. God is an ass.
Nobody sends anybody to hell. You send yourself there.
God sent everybody to hell. That's
David,
good, but you're not listening to the argument if you're applauding.
David, people who are in hell are there justly. Okay?
Oh, well, whose justice?
Well, there is no justice according to your worldview. It might be that there's no other scenario whereby sin ultimately wouldn't enter the world. Again, let me say this again. What is logically possible might not be actually achievable with free creatures. Okay? That's the problem here. You're assuming that God could have created a universe where nobody ever sins. Well, if there are free creatures, there might not be any universe whereby nobody ever sins.
This is not my point at all. My point is that free will is eliminated. There is no such thing as free will if God is omniscient.
Oh, no.
That is my point.
Oh, no.
God knew the future when he put the tree there.
Look, I knew you'd be here. Does that mean I caused you to be here?
God knew if I drop this, does it have a choice to fall?
Yeah, but you see, that's not an agent. We're agents. We make decisions.
If I have 100% foreknowledge, and if I know with 100% certainty that if I put the tree of knowledge here, it happens, and if I put the tree of knowledge here, it doesn't happen. If I have 100% foreknowledge, like your God supposedly does.
Just because you know something doesn't mean that you're choosing or that the person doesn't have free will. I mean, you have a 16-year-old daughter. You knew when you had her that she would sin one day, but you're not responsible for that sin. Yet
I don't have
100%
foreknowledge. I can't cause her
You
to
knew
sin.
she would sin because she's a human being, yet you chose to have her.
But Adam was without sin. He was perfect at the time.
Yes, and he chose, but God can redeem.
He didn't choose. He had no choice.